What's up, everybody? I'm the Greek Weeb, and welcome back to the Shonen Pulse Podcast here on the Panel Focus channel. Today, I'm joined with my co-hosts Yatogami.
What's up?
Papa Traffy.
Yo.
And the illustrious Nox.
Hey.
Why he get illustrious?
Cause I'm that nigga, bro.
Oh my god.
Hey, he's the one. Hey, he's the one that helped get us all together.
Hey.
Well, technically, it's Yato.
Hey,
Keep it on me. Keep it on me.
No. We'll get a credit where it goes.
Yeah.
Anyway, so today we actually got a first impressions of the new Undercover Shinobi manga that came out on Shonen Jump. Second, our impressions on Chapter 2 of Ichi the Witch. But before all that, we actually got some news, because over the weekend there was actually Aniplex Online Fest, which they had a bunch of announcements for new anime, continuing anime, and just some announcements with trailers or just key visuals. So I'm going to go over the ones that I at least find the most interesting, and ones that I think will all either be hyped or be somewhat interested to look into.
Let's go.
Alright, so first, I just want to say this because we didn't get a trailer or anything, but the Fate Strange Fake anime is going to be coming out next year, and apparently it's going to have a Los Angeles premiere in November.
Whoa. Hold on. What was the title of that?
Fate.
It's called Fate Strange Fake.
Say that 3 times fast.
Or don't. That's hype though, because people love Fate. That shit's got like 1,000 strings to it, so I need to get back on that.
Yeah.
There are so many spin-offs. Like, there was actually like an episode 0 that was like, I think 40 to 50 minutes long that premiered at Anime Expo last year and is now on Crunchyroll for everyone to watch. And it is done by A1 Pictures too, and it looks pretty damn good. We didn't get a trailer for the anime, but we just got some character visuals of Gilgamesh, his master, and another character whose name eludes me, but it's also tied to Gilgamesh's whole lore.
Damn.
Okay.
Alright.
Gilgamesh
So I'm
was
very
dope.
excited for that one. Another one that I'm very excited for that we're finally getting is the Madoka Magica movie that is a continuation of Rebellion. Walpurgis Not Writing.
Shit.
We got
Okay.
a full-on trailer, comes out winter of 2025, and the trailer looks phenomenal.
Wait.
Trippy.
So we talking like January winter or December winter?
Winter of 2025.
Yeah, so that's this
So
year.
after
That's,
January.
That's
that's this year.
The winter season.
I'm just
That's
making
next year.
sure.
Yeah.
so
And yeah, it looks fun. The trailer looks very good.
that's hype. I'm actually a fan of Madoka, so I'm gonna have to
Here.
check that out.
I think most anime fans at this point have watched the anime, because at this point it's almost like a rite of passage. This, FMAB, and one of the big 3. They're basically like rite of passages for most new anime fans at this point. I'll watch at least one of them.
It also feels like it kind of like I don't know if any other series did what it did, but it kind of like seems, it took that magical girl like genre and kind of made it into like the hardcore like bloody gruesome magical girl series that we get a lot of those nowadays. And so if
I do think you have a point there. I do think it started a trend with it. I don't remember if it's the first one to really like go down this route with the much darker pathway, but it definitely helped popularize it. Then we got shows like One Direct Priority, Magical Girl Raising Project, stuff like that.
Yeah, I've seen like
It
the
is the most
first
popular.
3. I've seen like the first like 3 episodes of Madoka Magica or something like that, but right away I could tell that it was a deconstruction.
yeah, it's really
like,
good.
Like everyone
Yeah.
says, get to episode 3 and you'll get an idea of what's going to happen.
Yeah, I think it was my old co-host Nickums that put me on and was like, you need to watch the first 3 episodes to see what it's really trying to do. And then I was like, oh yeah, I see what this is doing. This is crazy.
Yeah. So, there was that, and the funny thing is, it's been like I think a decade, like literally over a decade since that Rebellion movie came out, and people have been wanting a continuation because it left off on such a massive cliffhanger. And people have been just getting like teasers or even fake news for 10 years, almost as much as people were getting like fake information for a Tokyo Ghoul remake.
Oh, brother.
Yeah, it was it was so long. But
Yeah.
that's another one. That's one that I'm probably the most excited for outside of out of the next like 3 that I'm going to talk about in succession.
Okay.
So there's another. Okay, so there's another new anime that's going to be called Virgin Punk, which It's not what you think.
They made a show about Snooty.
Oh, brother.
But no, like from what I can tell, it's gonna be like an anime, like a brand new, like somewhat cyberpunkish anime to an extent.
Oh, okay, hold on. Now you're talking my language.
This
now.
right in my bag now. I don't know
Wait
what
a
Knox
minute,
not into
no.
that, but I'll check it out.
Nah, get back. That's my whole
Never mind.
genre.
Never mind. It's not cyberpunk, but the
Oh,
main
you lost
character is a cyborg, I believe.
Okay, hold on.
That's enough.
I'm back.
Basically,
I'm back.
girls with guns in like very intense, high stakes, like very visually appealing action sequences. Whole thing looks like a goddamn movie. I believe it's anime original, and it's gonna get like an early screening in Japan, summer of 2025 in theaters.
Let's go.
I just flipped through the trailer. It looked gassy. This looks dope.
Really good.
Flip through the trailer.
I got the trailer on YouTube on my phone. I'm watching it while he talks about it. It looks like Buddy. Yo, this is animated really well.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
and I don't know how true this is, but I'm told that the director of Akira is either wrote this or is one of the directors along with somebody
Oh,
else.
we're in
Hold
there.
on.
Look,
We're in there.
director, we got.
Don't quote me on
yeah.
that. I might be wrong on that.
Quote him.
Quote
Quote
me,
it.
G.
It's
Yeah,
quotable.
burn me
either
at the
way,
stake if I'm wrong.
We got transhumanism, and we got potentially the Akira guy's name tied to it. We will be there.
And
I'm
it's
gonna watch it 100%. This looks really freaking good.
yeah, it looks like some kind of alchemy stuff. Like I just watched a guy like clap his hands and fire lightning, and somebody like bleeding from his face. There's like alchemical circles and stuff. This looks really good.
Say less.
Next up, this is more for like me, but the next season of Blue Exorcist comes out in October, and we finally got another new trailer, and it's looking pretty solid. Going to be covering Shura's backstory, going to have a bit more action in it. One concern: there's like a CG snake, but it's only for like a brief second. Doesn't look horrendous.
Okay.
Good.
But it's gonna be cut. But it's where the but like season 3 was what the sort of like the actual story content where shit really starts hitting the fan, and so everything from season 3 and this season onward is just nothing but good stuff. So I do hope that since it's been since season 3 ended back in the winter, I'm hoping that this season is where they put a bit more into the action side because there's a couple more action in this arc and future arcs. The previous one didn't really have any action sequences, so it was more story focused. This one, I think it has a blend of action and the story that goes on with it. So I'm really hoping this one was done a bit better, had more time to work on it because this was a relatively small and new studio. This is like I think the 4th project that it's getting. Blue Exorcist moved from A1 Pictures after season 2, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was a fan of. I watched season 1 and I watched season 2, and I started reading the manga, but I just never got far. I'm going to go ahead and finish that pretty soon, actually.
Yeah, the manga went on like a 2 or 3 month hiatus, and it's coming back in October, right? And I believe it's the same day the anime comes back.
Is it like in its ending stages, or have they never announced any type of ending?
It might be. We no confirmation that it's the final arc.
Okay.
But it feels like it's the final arc.
Okay.
It's hard to describe. We're already getting character deaths, so yeah,
I recently picked up.
It's pretty intense. But anyway, I spent too long on Blue Exorcist.
Hey man, cool.
Let's move on to another hype one: Solo Leveling Season 2.
Oh.
Me.
I'm excited. For it.
Oh no.
Okay, no, it's great. We
I
love
also
it.
know a lot of people are excited for it. Season 2 is airing in January, but Japan and Korea are getting like a season 1 recap in theaters, and I believe they're also getting like an early screening of like the first 1 or 2 episodes of season 2.
Oh, nice. No, it'll still be like season 2 is gonna be tight. At least for me.
I'm blind.
Yeah. Oh, you're blind.
Where did season 1 end?
I have all 9 currently released English volumes of the physical version of the manhwa. I'm planning on reading it. I might make content on it. I have no clue. I haven't decided on that.
Okay,
I'm
I was
just
about
hyped.
to say some
It's
crazy
just a
shit.
fun- it was a fun watch.
Yeah, I'm glad that you said that she was blind before I started just belting off like
Yeah.
a bunch of shit. Yato,
I
you
do
said
know
where
there's
did
a sequel
season?
out right now.
You said where did season 1 end, Yato?
Yeah, I was trying to see where season 1 ended if we
Egress.
remembers.
Ingress the Blood
okay.
Red. Literally one of the best fights of the year.
Okay, I'm gonna have to watch that then, because I mean, I did enjoy Solo Leveling in the beginning. I'm not gonna say anything. You know,
It was good for a while.
Yeah, the fans, you know, the people who like it, I'm happy for y'all.
I heard the ending was a little. I heard the ending was controversial or something like that, mainly with the manhwa. I don't know anything about the novel it was based off of. So
I'm gonna be
It
real with
could've-
y'all. I haven't read it, and I watched like the
Okay.
first 3 episodes.
Okay.
It's garbage. No, I'm kidding.
Wow.
Go ahead, see for yourself. See what it's talking about. I'm not gonna be a Debbie Downer today.
I
no
own the
hate.
first volume. I just haven't read
Oh.
it
Real.
Okay.
art's really good. All right, so now we're still leveling. Next up, there's actually the second season of that SAO spinoff Gun Gale Online, which
Ooh.
I will go on record in saying that I think is more entertaining than the main Sword Art Online anime.
I might agree. I love
Most bars in Hades, but yeah.
No, man, Sword Art. People, I think Sword Art gets more hate than it deserves.
It does.
No,
It does.
it
Season
does.
one, first half of season 1 was good. Season 2 was a lot better than people think it was, save for like the middle arc thing. Season 3 was pretty good all the way through, in my opinion.
People who hate season 2,
Observation was really good.
people who hate season 2 never played an MMO in their life. I think that's what
Oh
it is.
shit.
I enjoyed season 2. The second half of season 2 was really good.
Yeah, and then all the Gun Gale stuff was cool. I like the Gun Gale, and then
Yeah,
I
I
haven't
liked it.
finished. I
I mean,
haven't finished
who
the.
doesn't like? Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I haven't finished the Alicization arc yet, but I'm gonna go finish that. But I did like. I forget her name. The girl, the chick with the pink P90. She was dope. So I'm gonna watch the season 2 of this.
Hold on,
Gun
Pink
Gale.
P90.
Yeah, it was.
You might have me.
It was a battle royale, and the main character was she was like a soldier chick, and she had a pink P90. She wore all pink. She was cool as hell.
And she
That
was
was
super.
my
This is-
gun in Counter Strike, so I'm trying to see.
This is
trying to see
related,
what hit info.
but a complete
I
side
think you'll-
note.
No.
The Gun Gale Sword Art Online game is the only good Sword Art Online game. Just wanted to
didn't-
throw that out real quick.
I'm
know
not
they
gonna
had
argue
games.
with you on that. I didn't know they had games either, but you're probably
They had
right.
so many games. Oh my god, there's so many games.
Makes sense.
I'm gonna have to check that out then.
It's super popular. But yeah, we got season 2 of Gun Gale Online coming out next year. Or no, wait, I believe it's in October actually.
I hope so. That's gonna be a bang. I think it is.
Yeah, October 4th.
Yeah, that's gonna be a banger season because I think that's in the same season as like Shangri-La and Don to Don and a couple other things.
Yeah.
Oh shit. I feel bad for it then.
Fall is stacked. I'm probably gonna be. There's like 15 anime I have my eye on.
Hell yeah.
It's a banger
I don't know.
season.
I'm probably not gonna follow all of them. I might. I have no idea. And that's not including what's continuing over from the summer. Let's see. The next anime is Demon Lord 2099, which seems like a fun time.
That sounds anime original.
No, I believe it's based off a light novel actually.
Oh, okay, or something like that.
I don't know. I can't tell. The trailer I saw didn't have subtitles, but I believe it's coming out on Crunchyroll. Yeah, it's coming out on Crunchyroll. But it's either a reverse isekai or a demon lord from ancient times gets flung into the future.
Yeah, I was gonna
And
say
shenanigans
Demon.
ensue.
I was gonna say Demon Lord in the title and light novel adaptation. This is absolutely some sort of isekai foolery.
Possibly. The trailer looks pretty fun. Looks pretty fun.
Okay.
Another light novel that just seems like it might be bad or it just might be something surprisingly funny is I may be a guild receptionist, but I'll solo any boss to clock out on time.
That's an
It's either
isekai.
be. It's,
Yeah.
It's not an isekai actually.
Huh?
What?
With a title
It's
like
actual-
that?
Where are the bosses?
What's happening?
I don't know. So many fantasy series end up for some reason getting like RPG tropes thrown in them to make them appealing. It's a whole
Okay.
thing. I don't know. This will either be utter garbage or this will probably be something surprisingly just chill to watch.
I have low faith.
Not gonna
I
lie.
have low faith
see.
also.
Just to put it out there, I think Jump needs a really good isekai just to like clean up the stain that's on the isekai like genre like taste. Like anytime a new series comes out, people are like, "Is it an isekai?" And somebody says yes, and they're like, "Oh, I'm good off that." Like just automatically, like nobody's even if you say something's an isekai, people just immediately throw that thing in the trash.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but
Um,
maybe if Jump does one, that
We
people
got
will
so
be like,
many
ooh.
bad isekai
Yeah.
that just recyclings of like literally every trope imaginable.
we need
So,
a good
yeah.
one. We need a banger.
Next, I might end up watching this next year. It's a new romance anime that I believe it's got a manga and it's a Kodansha manga also. It's called The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity.
Okay,
The trailer looks absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, I think I heard of that.
I've heard very good things about that from multiple people, so I think that's going to be a banger. I think that's one that people have been waiting on for a while. I know V, I think specifically has talked about that a lot.
I don't know if do you know if the manga is done?
That I don't think it is. I would have to look it up, but I don't think it's done. But I know people are hyped for that, and I think it's a weekly shonen magazine series.
It is Weekly Shonen Magazine. Okay,
Yeah.
I wasn't sure. All right. Next, the classic trashy rom-com that we'll end up getting. I'm Getting Married to a Girl I Hate in My Class.
Okay.
All right.
I think that's
I saw the
a lot
trailer.
of us.
Looks looks pretty well animated. Literally, literally these two characters that just don't really like each other. Grandparents are just forced them to get married and live in the same house. Shenanigans ensue.
Oh Lord.
There might be a harem aspect to it. There are like two other girls.
Oh,
in the
brother.
It gets worse.
or just might be thrown in to make things just weird and awkward.
How
I
your
don't know.
grandparents force you to marry and you got a harem?
Yeah, this already sounds like a fucking mess, dude.
It's just the two lead characters I've only seen, and they're just like two random other girl characters just show up that probably just go to their school.
So
Yeah,
So I have
that's-
no idea what this is.
That's gonna be some butt anyway.
Like I said, but this might actually just be a trashy rom-com that happens every anime season that might be surprisingly well animated.
oh, man.
Well, good for all 5 fans of that kind of story.
Yeah.
Yep. Look, if it's honestly hilarious, I might just watch it.
I'm here for the comedy.
Yeah,
I'm here
if
for
it's
the
funny,
lulz.
yeah, yeah.
It literally looks like a pretty. It looks like a comedy. I might watch it just to see if it's hilarious. If not, I'm gonna drop it instantly.
Yeah, I'm here for the lulz.
Yeah. One series that I don't think will be good, but at the same time, from what I could tell, it just looks. It might be just House MD, the anime. If House was a cute anime girl,
Oh,
it's really
shit.
called a Meku MD Doctor Detective. So my guess, it's just the main female lead solving medical crimes in a hospital. Trailer looks unimpressive. Soundtrack seems pretty fun, but meh.
That sounds like
I'll
a
probably
lot.
give it a try.
Yeah.
It might surprise me with like a decent mystery.
That could be cool.
Mystery
be
Doctor
cool.
could be cool, but it sounds
It
like a
could
lot.
be cool, but yeah. I mean, the MC looks fun. She's literally not. She's not House, but you know what I mean. I'm trying to paint a
Yeah.
picture.
Now
Yeah.
I'm just picturing House as an anime girl.
Pigtails,
That would-
pink hair.
Yeah, that was
Okay,
like one
artists,
of the things that
work
had
on
me
that.
like. That was one of the things that had me tuning into House. I was like, "What is this blue collar comedy tour looking motherfucker with a crazy
Yeah.
doctorate doing in this hospital doing crazy shit?"
All
Anyway,
right, you
I've
know
only
that
seen a
trend
few
that was
episodes of
going.
House as a kid.
You know that trend that was
What's
going
it?
around. We need somebody to draw Hatsune Miku House.
Oh my god, that would be great.
House Miku.
All right, let's see. Moving on. I haven't seen this anime or read the manga, but second season of Rurouni Kenshin comes out in October. The remake got a new trailer. It looks cool.
Okay.
I haven't read or watched it. I don't know if I will.
yeah, I've never been into. I never checked out Rurouni Kenshin. I probably check it out one day, but it's
Whoa,
I
so
might
not
be
even
able to
back
put
in
it
the
off.
day.
it's not on the list at all for
I mean,
things to do.
whatever.
The
Yeah,
One
yeah,
Piece is
yeah.
real.
Uh,
Got to sail the
And
high
the la-
seas.
yeah.
Oh hell.
Yeah,
And
if
the last
you
one I
weren't
wanna
there back
talk
in the
about-
day. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. No. Finish off what you were saying.
I was just gonna say, like, if you weren't there, like in the nostalgic, like early 2000s, like Toonami times for Rurouni Kenshin, then you probably don't need to be in too big of a hurry to spin the block on that because we already know what's good with that Watsuki fella.
Yeah. That's
I think
why I
everyone
kind
in the
of.
anime community knows at this point.
Yeah, that's why I stayed away from it. But other than that, I mean, nostalgia doesn't bother me. Stuff that's old because I can watch anything. Like
Yeah.
I'm cool with watching old ass shit.
Alrighty.
Okay, this is the last one I'm gonna bring up because it's the last one that honestly really interests me because the trailer looks freaking incredible, and I believe it's been in the works for the last couple of years. It's called To Be Hero X, and it's a collaboration between Aniplex and Billy Billy. You know,
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Tubi. I was like, where the fuck they get this deal at?
yeah, the Aniplex, and this is like the main company that is in charge of all the Chinese animated projects that we've been seeing, like Link Click. So it's a collaboration between Japanese and Japanese studios, Chinese and Japanese studios.
Okay, this looks kind of cool. This looks
It
like
looks so cool.
what's the League of Legends show called? It looks kind of like that.
Arcade?
Yeah, it looks. It's
Oh,
got like
God.
there's some like I'm looking
The
at like
animation style
screenshots.
changes a lot.
Yeah, I'm looking at some screenshots, and sometimes it looks like Arcane, and sometimes it looks like Great Pretender. Sometimes it looks like, like Killer. It looks like a lot of things. Samurai Jack. Like it looks like it's got a lot of like
Damn.
vibes.
That's reminding me of the Animatrix now.
Wait,
Yeah, it's got a
what
it's
was
got a
it
lot
called?
of vibes.
It's called To Be Hero X.
We can't let Tess find out about this.
Yeah, we won't. we'll X them off.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna be watching this. Let me just double check. I believe it's coming out next year. Yeah, it comes out next year.
Yeah, that looks cool.
Nothing confirmed yet for when it's supposed to come out, but yeah, next year.
That does look cool.
Yeah. And last thing I just want to mention, this isn't from the Aniplex, but I actually mentioned this before we jumped on. But we had 3 new Don the Don mini trailers, like 15-second promotional trailers, just released today,
Peak.
teasing like multiple stuff from the season, from like I believe like literally from the first couple of arcs just spliced together.
I haven't
Ice
seen
water.
it.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited for Don the Don.
Did anybody get to go see the movie?
I did not.
I
No.
could not. All the theaters were like 8 to 10 miles away from me, and even on a day off, I do not want to drive upstate
I'm never gonna have time
just
for
to
that.
watch a movie.
Yeah.
If I'm with a big group, on a weekend, I will do it. But no, it's too much. It's too much.
It just
Yeah.
didn't play anywhere near me, so I was sad. I would have went even if the
Sucks.
bitch was like 10 miles. I would have done that, but yeah. So I didn't see the trailers, but I'll be checking those out after this because Donadon is big hype. I'm very excited
Imagine-
for that season.
Mhm.
Imagine that was the best-selling movie of the month.
Yeah,
If it
they
wasn't a movie,
they
that'd be
did
great.
say it sold crazy. They said the sales and like the reception for that movie was insane.
Yeah, especially alongside of the woke garbage that's been filling up these
Oh
theaters.
my
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh, brother.
we don't want to jump into that. Oh shit!
Yeah, let's not get our comments flagged.
All right, so that's it for the news. You guys, so you guys want to jump into the Shinobi Undercover first chapter?
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such an
Yeah.
unimpressed,
All right. Who wants to lead?
guess.
Oh.
So who wants to lead the discussion?
You can continue.
All right, I'll just say this: the art's cool. First chapter was fine. The MC I kind of like. I find him kind of funny. Literally, just I'd say Bochi from Bochi to the Rock as as like an incredibly skilled and ruthless ninja, unless he's talking to somebody.
Yeah.
And the main female lead is entirely incompetent at doing anything
It's a very
because
good,
of all the ninjas that literally fabricated her entire life.
It's a very
Yeah.
good comparison for his character, Bochi the Rock, because she's also like very much like him, but a rock player. So that was good.
Yeah.
I liked it. I liked the first chapter, but it's just like I was more excited because the duo that's working on it, the artist and the author, it's the same duo that worked on Candy Flurry before, and it made me wonder like when this duo had gotten axed before, and so I wonder like when this happens. Is it up to editorial? Like, is editorial keeping these guys together, or are they potentially like buddies? Like, does this artist and author know each other, or was it like, hey, you guys didn't do great this time, but we, you let us know when you got another idea, and we'll ship you guys together again. I wonder how that whole process goes.
I feel
That's a
like
good
if
question.
you're,
mix of
I
both.
guess I never really thought about that before.
I feel like if you
Could be
work
some
on
kind
a
of combination. Yeah.
series with someone, you become friends with them over time. So it's probably like hey, I want this person back for this idea I have, and then they just
Yeah.
kind of work it out from there.
They probably link up like outside of the job and be like, yo, you want to make another thing, and then they put together like a manuscript, and then they pull up on editorial like, yo, we got another thing, you should look at it, let me know.
Yeah.
And then they're like,
Yeah.
oh yeah,
like
this
the
is cool.
Death Note duo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
stuff
it's
like
like
that.
yeah, those guys, they've done a lot together, and it's like I wonder. I feel like these guys are like friends. Like they got axed at like 17 chapters before with Candy Flurry, and they pull up again for a second go. And I think when you submit to Jump, you got to submit like three to five chapters anyway. So it's like I guess they were confident in this ninja story. And I mean, I like chapter one. You know, like you said, it's Bocchi the Rock, but ninja. And the chapter kind of starts off. You know, the color page is dope. We got ninjas and. They talk about the whole ninja history. There exists a hand-picked, unit of elite operatives and stuff. And then it jumps into, it's a young boys magazine. So they kind of go gruesome, but, tame at the same time by not showing like the guy dying. But it's implied that, he's a ninja. Everyone's dead around him. So main character, while he's, a scaredy cat, he also will kill people.
Yeah,
so something I do want to add real quick. I kind of like how like the other two ninjas that are in that school, literally after hearing him like being with their target, or just managing to take something out, they're like, oh, I initially thought they would be like jealous or envious of this guy for his talent or doing stuff, but no, they're literally just like, oh man, this guy must be super awesome. The rumors must be true. He is amazing. I hope I could be like him one day, and that's definitely something different that I wasn't expecting. So I expect some honest to God funny moments just from those interactions in general.
So I'm hoping there's actually like a little bit of mystery around the group of shinobi that are within the school. So like I'm hoping that chapter 2, they don't immediately reveal who each of the shinobi are. I hope it's like a situation of them trying to figure out who it is. I feel like that might make it a bit more entertaining. As for like the first chapter, I liked it, but I also thought it was pretty standard. Like it didn't reach out and grab me, for example, like Ichi did. I've talked about this before, but with a lot of first chapters, you kind of have to throw up this balance of how you introduce the main characters, how you introduce the world, and how you introduce the systems that exist within that world. And the only other way around that is you have to focus on one of those, and then you have to do it really well. Shinobi Undercover focuses on its characters, but the problem with that is that it focuses on the one-noteness of the characters. So like our MC, he's socially anxious. That's it. That's the main thing we get from him. That, and he's a really good ninja. And then the main female protagonist, she's clumsy. Those are the one note we really get from those characters, and that seems to be the point that they focused on, which is what I think caused it to not get as positive as a reaction for its debut.
You make a good point there.
So I think this manga is dog shit. No, I'm kidding.
Oh my god.
Okay. So I didn't have like too big of an issue like with the chapter itself, like narratively, like a lot of the stuff that I kind of like thought about it like comes down to like little gripes. I don't think that it did anything like wrong per se. I think it was well paced. I think it introduced certain ideas and presented them well enough. I just don't think that this is one where like the content presented is like for me personally, even though I don't think that it necessarily did like anything wrong, because like especially with these like shonen stories, you always get some kind of unique character trait or quirk associated with the MC, and in this one they're clearly going for the whole like wildly capable in combat but socially awkward with people approach. And I can see the idea that they had, obviously, because a setup like that creates a contrast between the character and the profession that they belong to, that's going to be used for comedy, obviously. And I can see that hitting for some people, but that situation is just personally not for me. But we got some pretty tight ninja scenes nonetheless. Like the whole like bloodlust killing intent thing where the guy visioned his head getting chopped off, shit like that is always always a hit for me. Yeah. Especially
the art does hit.
Yeah, especially because they made it a splash page too. Like to dedicate a whole page to that was a really good idea in my opinion. But yeah,
it felt like that scene felt like to me like kind of like Sakamoto days, like early on when Shin could like visualize Sakamoto like murdering him, but then it didn't actually happen. It's like, whoa, I can feel your bloodlust. Like this guy would really kill me if like I messed things up for him here.
I
Yeah.
really missed that bit.
The series could
That was so
just turn into something that's all about throwing hands. That is something we could see, and if they do focus on that, I think that has a pathway.
Yeah.
Especially if the actual action sequences are well choreographed,
I
or at
think,
least easy to follow. Which
do
first
think-
chapter seems fine.
Yeah, I do think the choreography will be fine. Probably not excellent, but I think based on like what we've seen here, it looks like the author, the artist is at least able to like convey like very like cool motions and stuff with like attacks and like the ninja stuff that we did get, like all the jokes and the nervousness aside, the ninja stuff that we did get was actually cool. And the teacher pulls up and he stabs a syringe in his neck. It's like, oh, that was cool. The kid, Yodaka, him, killing the guy in the beginning or whatever, and then being at the when the teacher ran away from him and then he pops up at the end of the hallway, he's like standing on the exit bathroom sign and stuff. Like that stuff's cool. Him, doing the karate chop, all that was cool. Yeah. And I think if they focus on that, it will be dope, and it turns into maybe the main character gets maybe if the main character kind of gets his confidence a bit sooner than like 8 chapters, it could be a thing. They don't have to keep these like character tropes and stuff for so long, but I don't know. Right. I think I do agree with what Traffy was saying about like the one notedness, and like I think for the girl, like her being like clumsy and stuff, that immediately made me think of Fuko. But like I think
low key,
I think the other side of that, like she's clumsy, but like she knows that her life isn't what it is. Like
that's what I was gonna say too. Like I like the Truman Show style setup that they kind of have with the girl. Like it adds an extra layer of depth to her character, and
to the point where they even planned out her boyfriend and girlfriend.
Right, yeah, and like they dedicated like writing to her like potential understanding of how like wrong her life seems to be, even if she can't like put a finger on it exactly. Like she knows that at least there's a feeling there that her life might not be going the way that it like naturally like should or could or whatever. Either way, like it gives her pathos, and I think that's important to establish, just to keep her from being truly like one note or whatever.
Yeah.
I think if they would have gave her like maybe one more like trait, maybe like show that she was like had really good grades, or like she had family, maybe like, oh, my dad told me about this, something else other than the clumsiness and the fact that she knows, she kind of has an idea. One more thing to show that like she's more than just like tripping and falling. But if it's,
to be fair though, it does say that she doesn't have family, so that kind of adds a bit more to it. She's also orphan. Go ahead.
Sorry. No, sorry about that. There's also the fact that that there's some mysterious reason why they're protecting her. Like she has like connections to important people apparently, or has the fate of the country in her life or something like that. So that is like a definite good mystery to potentially build up to see how that goes.
Right. Like we're definitely not done learning like really important things about this girl, obviously. But just like for what's like presented in the very first chapter, I kind of like see where Traffy was coming from with like the content presented. Yeah,
it can definitely go places. It's just the debut wasn't spectacular.
Yeah.
It was cool, but it wasn't it wasn't a great introduction. I mean, it wasn't a bad chapter. It wasn't a bad introduction to the characters. Nothing about it was like terrible, but it was just a good first chapter.
Yeah, and all of the complaints, like, since it's a debut, like, unless, like, everything is just executed, like, very poorly and you just have nothing, like, bad to say about it, at the end of the day, it is a very first chapter, and we don't really know exactly what the creative team is trying to do entirely. A lot of, like, my criticisms or whatever can probably be, can probably just be completely thrown out by, like, more time. You know what I mean, or whatever. I don't know how long. I don't know exactly how long I'm going to follow the series, but like, just like small gripes, like here and there, like going back to like information delivery, for example, because like exposition is like a big thing for me, and it's typically delivered through like narration or dialogue between characters. But like when you use character dialogue to deliver exposition, like you got to make sure that it also makes sense for the characters to be saying the things that they're saying to each other. Otherwise, it's going to come off as like cheap, I guess is one way to put it, and shit like that can end up damaging immersion for some readers. So like my example for that was in the very beginning where dude is like, hold on one second, I got the chapter pulled up right here. Oh yeah, where he's like, yo, you got to chill with the target for like 5 minutes until backup shows up, and he like substitution jutsus out or whatever, and then the guy in the chair, like on the phone with the main character, is like, what are you doing? And he's like, a stealth retreat. It's an ninjutsu that involves distracting the enemy and disappearing in their blind spot. It's like, why would you feel the need to say that to the guy in the chair that like already knows that and like knows you? You know what I mean? Like, is this your first job with this guy in the chair? I would assume they already have like some kind of a relationship. Maybe this is their first mission or together, or maybe, you know, this is a part of you know, the main character's like, you know, quirkiness or trait where he just like belts off like obvious things about his job to the person he's talking to in his ear or something like that. But like, I could try to give it the benefit of the doubt for that, but just like the way that it's kind of presented in the chapter, it makes it feel like lazy.
I don't
the exposition there.
I had a similar experience with the series this week. I won't get into it, but characters just two characters talking about like general world building and information stuff, but the way it was delivered, it just did not feel natural whatsoever.
I don't think it was an attempt at exposition. I think it was a pretty poor attempt at comedy, because the next follow-up line was like, I know that, but why did you leave the target? I think it was just...
Oh, he said, and why did you do that now? Yeah. And I mean, you know, it could be serving multiple, you know, purposes simultaneously. One being comedy and one being, you know, because it's like it's the first chapter, so you have to find ways to fit in like really obvious information that most people are going to know just because we're familiar with ninja shit at this point, especially as Weekly Shonen Jump fans.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like it just seemed, considering the audience, it just seemed like, okay, like you got to tell us this, I guess, right now, because we're the audience reading a comic book.
Normally stuff like that does definitely come off kind of disconnecting and jarring, but I think in this case it's definitely like the main character's just nervous, like it was a substitution jutsu, the ninja technique is it's just a character quirk, but that type of thing can definitely, you know, ruin, you know, break immersion, and just like, okay, you know, I know that you guys are in this profession, know, you know, what burger flipping is, so you don't have to explain burger flipping to the reader. Like, I know you work at Burger King, so it's like, you know, the same thing. And it's like, I do like the, you know, like, I like, there was some things I liked about it. So I'm gonna give it at least, you know, 7 chapters. I think it's fair to give a series a volume just to see, because sometimes it takes 6 or 7 chapters for it to really cook and flip and show you what the series is trying to do. I'm not gonna be too hard on it.
Yeah, no, me neither. I did have like a couple other gripes, I guess. Like, every ninja has 2 names. Like, I could see that, like, you know, they have their integrated with society like name that everyone has to call them because they're undercover, and then they have like their, you know, code name for their like ninja association that they belong to or whatever. I can see that, like, I don't want to use the word like inundating, but like I can see that getting confusing for you know, for some readers after a while, if they really do keep the double name thing going throughout the series. But I guess we'll see.
I'll be honest with you, none of the names stuck out to me. I can't remember them off the top of my head.
Neither do I. And then again, I only read the chapter once.
I wrote them down. I wrote them down, but like, so I actually like the whole concept of like the ninja code names, but
for sure,
you know, trying to remember, you know, Hibari the Skylark, and then they're calling her like Josanne. It's like, if they're calling her like Josie, but like in the characters like mine, he's like, Hibari's not acting, you know, the same today. That would be weird if they're like constantly flip flopping and using both names. But I think in general, code names are cool. You know, we got like Gabimari the Hollow, you know, Copy Ninja Kakashi, the White Flash stuff like that is normally cool. But like,
I just think if you're going to do something like that, then you have to really focus and put a lot of like effort into ways to make those characters stand out, either like narratively or like design wise, or, you know, like just give them like moments that like make those names or like the want to memorize those names like stand out. You know what I mean?
Because like, do these names mean the first character, main character, Yodaka the Nightjar, is that like a bird? I think Nightjar is a bird. I just thought about it like right now.
Oh shit! I didn't even think about that.
And then Skylark. Okay, I think they're all all are birds, because gull, Yumineko the gull, and then Hibari the Skylark. I think Skylark's a bird too, so they might all be named after like, avian, creatures or whatever.
That's cool. And this could just be like their house or whatever. There could be like other, arms of the ninja faction that use like a different motif for, their naming conventions. Like we could get like, a reptile house where like named after
so
like
that'd be
some
cool
kind of
actually.
and
that's something I definitely didn't notice until like, because I wrote down the names like on the notes, but I didn't notice that I'm pretty sure all of those are birds, and I didn't notice that until like saying the words out loud.
No, good spot.
So I like code names. I don't think the teacher guy had a code name. He was just like, they were like, we don't know him, take him out. And
Mr. Jobber or whatever his name was.
That was dope. But yeah, the main character, he, I'll get over the jitteriness, and even at the end, he wants to have a friend. He wants to have friends, and his knees stop wobbling or whatever. The part where he, the teacher like tried a bit, he looked back and he was like dead serious. That was cool as hell. He gave him that cold stare.
But going back to the exposition thing, hold on, bro, because you just reminded me in this scene. Let me scroll down to it when he tries to stab him in the neck with the syringe. He says that poison or something won't work on me, or like drugs or something won't work on me. Yeah. And like the guy in the chair is like surprised by that. How the fuck do you not know that as the guy in the chair?
Maybe
like,
it is.
How is that new information to you?
Maybe they are a new like handler and agent or whatever.
It's gotta be something like that.
Oh man, it would be hilarious if a part of this is just he was so annoying to work with due to his anxiety that everybody that has worked with him prior would just quit out of sheer frustration with the guy.
I can see that.
Okay,
that would be a funny bit. No, that would be kind of funny to introduce. I think
they should do that.
I hope that's the case. That'd make things very interesting.
I think if he messes up, he'll just like it'd be funny if he's like, "Oh, I guess you're gonna leave me too." And he's like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Every other handler guy in the chair leaves me because even though he's like elite."
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. Like you got the other ninja in the school. Like he's got notoriety for real.
Yeah,
like they're like, oh shit, that's that Gabimaru kid. He's not to be played with or whatever they say.
No,
maybe the other ninjas don't know about this side of him, and they just know his accomplishments, and their organization just wants people to know about the accomplishments.
Yeah, no, you're
so
right.
that they can actually leave important jobs to him because they know he can handle it.
Maybe the other guys leave him because he's annoying or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. If they do go that route.
So it is interesting that like this whole mission is like very long scale. Like they've been guarding her and watching her whole life, and like they gave this kid this mission, and they're like, for the next 3 years, you guys are gonna be her friends, and this guy's gonna be her boyfriend, and this girl's gonna be her friend. It's like 3 years, bro. He's a ninja. Like give it a ninja a 3-year mission to like not. I mean, I guess they are anticipating other like ninjas attempting to assassinate, but it's like he's essentially just being a kid for 3 years. It's like that's a long ninja mission. I wonder if he's gonna go off and do other things.
Yeah.
Or
we find out like someone high up in the organization has a soft spot for the main character and is like forcing him into a mission like this because they want him to overcome his like social anxieties and whatnot.
Oh,
it's like a test within a test.
Yeah. That's thinking out the box. I like that.
And what if they flip it on us and the main
plot reasons for character development?
What if they flip it on us and the main female protagonist isn't the main female protagonist and she gets capped in like the next 5 chapters?
Oh my god.
Fucking insane.
That'd be insanity.
I thought you were gonna say, what if she's actually like the boss and she put him on the mission or something?
Oh shit,
oh, man!
I did immediately get like so like I said, I got Sakamoto vibes from it, but I also kind of got like Mission Yozakura family vibes.
Low
it's like,
key.
Wasn't it like the mission to protect Yozakura chick? I forget her name. Mutsumi. Yeah, it kind of feels kind of samey. She might not have a family, but maybe she's an heir to some rich king or something and some shit like that because they got ninjas, so there's probably
the only difference is that despite being protected, Mutsumi is the actual leader that makes the decisions.
Yeah. And then there was something else I wanted to say. Let me see. Somebody else can take it while I'm thinking.
I got nothing.
Yeah, I don't have anything else to say.
Damn.
One thing I do want to say. This is probably the last thing I have to add to it. I do like how how we go through this entire thing. She knows in the back of her mind that something's not right, something's fabricated, but it makes things all the more actually kind of nice, especially for her, that the MC, who was not tasked to just interact with her whatsoever, just circumstantially interacts with her, and she wants him to be her friend because she can tell he's not doing anything to fabricate whatever relationship that they wouldn't have. And so she owns the feeling that that's probably the one more so than not truer friendship that she'll make in her whole life.
Yeah. And there's potential for like really good drama inside of how like the main character seems to like feel about finding out that the girl, I'm sorry, I don't have any of their names memorized, but like the MC, like
it's fine. None of us do.
The MC seems to like kind of give off a vibe that he like really does not like her situation based on the information that he's been given. So I can see there being like good writing dedicated to like his want to free her or like liberate her from, you know, her current like Truman Show style situation. But like he's got to find a way to do it, you know, in a way that doesn't obviously let the cat out of the bag and like tell her too much. So there can be some like pretty good like drama there inside of like, oh my God, I care so much about you and don't want you to live like this anymore. But like, I'm also a ninja who needs to like keep things like confidential and like not ruin the mission and whatnot. So how do I navigate, you know, this very like slippery slope of like wanting to be there for you and change your circumstances without like, you know, compromising the entire, you know, mission or organization even, you know what I mean? So that could be cool.
Yeah, and him being friends with her like this, it kind of, him speed running the friendship thing and becoming her buddy by the end of chapter 1, it kind of throws a wrench in like the main goal because they told him to just be there and like kind of look over things as a hawk and like, you know, this guy be her boyfriend, this girl be her friend, but like,
and you're a fly on the wall type shit.
Yeah, but he's like the friend, and you know, what if he ends up being the boyfriend? And it's like the goal was for this dude to be the boyfriend, so you could be causing, you know, what if that makes the other guy look bad, you know, as a ninja, like you,
or maybe he gets salty and like now it's like a love triangle, pride, rivalry, like you're stepping on my toes in multiple ways, like type shit.
Or like, you know, what if they pull the other dude off the mission and then he becomes like, you know, I really needed that mission for my family's, you know, future or whatever. So now he's like an antagonist or rival, stuff like that. I think could really be cool. And then, like Traffy was saying earlier, I think he said something he said sparked it in my head. And it's like, I would love to see more characters that we find out similar to the teacher, where it's like we see characters every day. Like we only met the 4 characters so far, the main character, the target, and the 2 other ninjas, and then the teacher. But it'd be cool if like other characters come into the picture and, you know, we get like 5 or 6 students that kind of get focused on, and it's like, are they ninjas or not? And then you like 18 chapters later, it's like, oh shit, the lunch lady was a ninja the whole time. Like you never knew. And like you thought that this guy was a ninja because he acts weird, and he wasn't. And it turns out like the bird that like sits on a windowsill every day is a ninja type shit. It's like I would love to just like have a lot of like surprises where it's like this guy's a ninja, and like you thought this was a mannequin, but it's really a ninja who like he mastered the art of staying still, you know, shit like that would be dope.
There's an opportunity for a lot of really cool sneaky shit like that in a ninja story. So you know, I guess we'll see. Yeah,
but I think we covered everything that we have to cover about the chapter at this point. Do you guys have like a final rating for your first impressions?
I mean, that's all I had to say about that garbage. But if I had to rate it, I would say shit like hard 6. Pause.
Yeah, I think I kind of agree to that. It's a fine first chapter. I liked it, but it's still too early to really tell how things will go.
Yeah.
What you think, Trav?
I'm not a big numbers guy when it comes to ratings.
That is fair.
You do it in emojis. What emoji do you give it?
Bro, what?
The face with the dash underscore dash. I feel like
bro, what does that mean?
You're not up on your emoticons game?
I don't know what it's called.
No, I was talking to Yato. I was joking anyway.
Yeah, it's straight face. Yeah, slanty eyes. Yeah, I got you.
So okay. I mean, like I liked it, and I'll probably keep reading it. But as I said before, it didn't like pull me in or grab my attention. So I'm kind of about it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. I'm gonna give it a solid, a volume before I really decide, because I really like at least the artist. I follow her on Twitter, and she draws like a lot of like cute girls doing like cute stuff. It's like, hey, I'm a fan of chicks getting ice cream and dancing. Nothing wrong
dude,
with
send
that.
me her shit. I'll follow her too.
Yeah, I'll post it in the chat afterwards. But yeah, I like the art. The story isn't terrible. A lot of people actually liked it. Like I saw a lot of positive reception for this first chapter. Not as much as Ichi, obviously, but like it was not a lot of like people saying bad things. So like I think it might last and stick around for a while. Plus, Jump's in a state now where it's like they need things. So not saying that it's gonna get get like the pity vote, but like people are gonna be buying the magazine and they want to read something. So I think I give it about a 7, and we'll see. It could go higher, could get axed.
We gonna see.
All right. So now, guess we'll go to what would essentially be our main event at this point. Ichi the Witch, Chapter 2.
Hey.
All right. So I'm just gonna say it flat out. Really good second chapter. Good world building and setting things up for what we could expect from the story.
And
I'm getting
Descara's-
major Magi vibes from this chapter.
I like how it kind of slowed down narratively and really wanted to focus on Descaris and Ichi and just like their dynamic and like their characters and whatnot. And they still managed to fit, a decent amount of like world building and shit like that alongside of it. But like obviously the focus of this chapter is like these two and how they interact with each other. And I think that everything was executed like phenomenally in that regard.
Yeah, I like how it did also answer a lot of the questions we posed last chapter. But I just want to say
I knew we were getting that chibi Uroro design on the shoulders. I was like, we're getting that immediately.
Yeah,
and
that was great.
I knew it was coming. There was no way they were going to flush out his personality that well and then just have him disappear.
Right.
And I like how the whole thing is like, if Ichi dies, Uroro goes free. So this does add in the whole thing of like him not really potentially being an actual ally unless a greater force comes in and he can't beat them by himself.
And that explains why. Yeah. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
Yeah. It'd be interesting if we go like a similar route to like, let's say, Sukuna, where he refuses to help out whatsoever. And Ichi
because he wants Ichi to die so that he can be free. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. And maybe try and mess him up along the way.
That's why he was saying, get out there and start hunting shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? You got this.
Especially if the Descaris isn't around.
I don't know. I don't know if he was genuine about it, but I mean, like last week I was saying, I think he's gonna like abide by his rules, and he did say it in this chapter. But I don't know if like it was just like I'll stick with the kid and hopes that the kid goes off and dies. But like I feel like he's gonna stick. He said the rule is, I can't be beat unless it's by a man. He was beat by a man. You gotta own up, bro. You gotta stick
hold
that. Yeah, you gotta hold that L, bro. You gotta be his boy. You gotta teach him. You his guy now. You his guy in the chair. You his Professor Oak. You his internal death messiah. That's your job now, bro.
His microchip.
So I don't
Punisher fans out there. Oops.
I don't think he has any control over his magic, or any magics have control over their magic once they have been bested. because if you look at it, the 2 points of contention where Ichi does use magic, there was no interaction from Uroro. Like, he just used it. So I think he's just kind of stuck along for the ride.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was the rule that was stated. Once you complete whatever trial that is, you essentially gain that magic's ability for yourself.
Yeah,
but
so it explains how Uroro wasn't able to do anything at all.
Right. But is it kind of implied in the story that people, like, the characters kind of think that maybe Uroro could still do something, or like?
It's possible, or perhaps he could have some sort of influence over Ichi if he is mentally weaker. It's the possibility is out there, because remember, he's like a 1 in a billionth possibility, primarily due to how he's lived his life.
Yeah.
And so that's tempered his mind and body to be a good vessel.
Yeah, they made a point to say, too, like, we've been trying to get this motherfucker for some time now, and he's not only, very elusive, but, this motherfucker is extremely volatile. We have no idea, what kind of, situation can come about from anyone, claiming him as a magic or whatever. So we, need to do more research type shit on this guy, basically, and that's kind of why we need you, next to me, so that we can, see how he behaves now that you control him or whatever, what have you and whatnot. It seems like they're ignorant on, just what his ceiling is or what exactly Uroro is capable of, through and through. So it seems kind of vague in that regard. Yeah.
Kind of feels. Go ahead, Trav.
Oh, I was just gonna say the one thing that I really enjoyed in this chapter, well, two things is both them going more in depth with Ichi's character, as well as the further explanation in regards to magic, like the fact that Uroro is ultra amplification. That is a raw ass power, because it looks like Ichi can just use any spell, and then Uroro just amplifies it to make it super powerful, and that's
as long as he knows the chant, he can do it.
yeah.
That's butterscotch.
I don't think chants are going to be hard to come by. He already learned 2 spells in 10 minutes, or whatever.
Though
10 minutes
I would love to see if those are just like basic spells that anybody could use because they have magic, and there's just like like with Uroro amplification or like special elemental type magic that you can only get if you manage to hunt or succeed in a trial against a like water magic or a fire magic. That would add more to it, because then you don't just learn it on your own. You have to. It adds weight to the hunting of magics that are out there in the world that either want to do harm to humanity or want to cooperate with humanity. But it all comes down to like their trials, or you actually having to hunt them down and defeat them in a fight.
Yeah, and I'm just like a big fan of like, energy systems that have, unique spells or unique abilities, but also like a base level, application of the energy that anyone can use with like enough training or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's similar to like, Ho or Ken reinforcement in Hunter x Hunter's Nen, but then you also have a Hatsu that lets you do like a unique thing or whatever. But if your Hatsu is trash, like you could just be really tight with like regular Nen manipulation and just box motherfuckers with aura reinforcement or something like that. It seems like that's kind of like where they're going here, where Uroro is his own thing with his own abilities or whatever. But then like if you know the chant, you can just say a casual healing spell or something like that, and that's obviously not a magic that Ichi has, captured for himself, but it's still like something that he was able to do just because it's like a shared, we're mages, know the chant and do the thing, So I think that's cool that you're going to have unique spells and unique abilities, but also
So I wonder, you put a thought in my head. So like things like the magics were, once beings that had to be beaten or whatever and tamed. And so I'm guessing that like the forest revival and the ability that she used in the first chapter were both spells that probably had to be taken, by defeating the trial. So maybe Uroro also has like a word that could be chanted. Like these are, once the spell is defeated or whatever, once you learn how to do it, you can say, like you can say go magic water gun, and now you can do water. And it's like, is there a keyword that each magic will have? So Uroro may have a word that like Ichi can say, and it will amplify whatever he does, but he just chooses not to tell people, like, because he could pass along the king magic. So like if, for example, he tells Dracaris, just say, big mode, and she goes big mode fireball, and she's spitting out suns and stuff now.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Because all magic, they originally had to come from a magic with a J, and so like the 2 spells that Ichi is shown doing are those former magic entities that were defeated, and now that like their spell word, you can pass that along, like, hey, just say bibbidi bop and you can summon a fish, and it's like, okay, I said bibbidi bop, but like I didn't beat the fish, you did, you told me its code word. Can like Ichi eventually learn Uroro's code word and tell it to other people and spread the king magic? But also
that could be a pretty like crazy point for hype later on in the series too, because like if he just gets amplification at base on any spell that he uses just by having captured Uroro, then later on in the series when he comes across a certain hurdle where whatever base level amplifications that he's been using so far just isn't enough, then you can have Uroro pull up and be like, hey man, I'm about to give you the word now. Yeah, here you go, G. Go ahead and clear this for me real quick. Yeah.
And
something that I stated this in passing earlier about how from this chapter I actually do kind of, if I were to compare it to a different series, like it gives me the similar vibes, it would be Magi in terms of finding where these specific magics are, because like in Magi there are like djinns stuck like down in dungeons, and you have to get to the treasure room. Once you get there, the Jin will end up deciding whether or not you're worthy of gaining that power. It'll either be it's very simple, you'll get there, you gain the power, or you have to overcome some sort of trial or a fight in order to gain the ability of the Jin. And there are levels to mastery to that Jin's power, and they all vary from each other. So
I could see the Magi comparison there. It seems like the main difference, at least so far with the information that we have, is that Magi, you got to go into a dungeon, and there's like a whole concept surrounded behind that trial leading to the Jin and whatnot, where these just seem like area bosses like out in the wild that you run into and then defeat and whatnot, which is a big enough difference for me. But
like
I really like that.
Battle.
I really like that comparison though.
Like the one panel where she says, at present, there are 3,185 different confirmed magics. Of those, 402 have been acquired by witches, but the world still holds countless unknown magics. Those two panels right there just set up the vastness of this world.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. That's the kind of shit that gets you fucking gassed up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like there's always something like that, especially like in these shonen stories where like, you know, the story will start and they'll be like, so there was 19 swords scattered across the, like, it lets you know like a number of like what you're going for and what you're looking for. It makes it you that much more excited to turn the next page or to get to the next chapter or, you know, to see the next installment of the story, because now you have that plot thread dangling and you need to see like how they eventually like tie that up all the way at the very end of the series. So it's easy to like kind of like grab people and lock them in for the whole ride when you have like, you know, hard numbers like that.
And
I wonder, shows you have a good chunk of it like at least planned out, at least for the beginning of it, like you know to an extent where you're going with it. And I think I think this early confirmation would also show to like the editorial staff that okay, they know what they're doing and we have the space. Let's give them room to breathe and see what they can make of this and how this will affect our magazine. So
plus, that'll
add a layer of confidence. Hopefully,
when you have the number of things established like that on top of like the hunting like theme that was kind of given to us like at the start of the series and whatnot, it makes the setup for like a true like adventure series. You know what I mean? And like, when's the last time we had like a big adventure series in Weekly Shonen Jump? Like, anyway, I think the last one they tried was like Build King or something.
No, I think was that Snowman Red Hood. But
Dickhead Gill, I remember that.
Yeah. No, he was talking about Red Hood, and then you're talking about Ice. You're talking about Red Hood Gill. But I was thinking, what's the Snowman like? Something in Snowman.
Ginka and Luna.
Yeah. Ginka and Luna. How could I forget? Probably because
I've heard good things about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing about this chapter though, the Ororo thing, and you know the whole 1,000 years they've been hunting them, it kind of sets the tone and the scale that like this magic, you know, civilization has been going for over 1,000 years, and I wonder if magics like Ororo, if there's others, and he's kind of considered basically in this universe's version of like a primal fear devil. Like is he like the darkness devil and he just got defeated, but there's also a death and a hunger, you know, whatever devil. Like are there other, you know, big magics like him that are out there, or is it just a bunch of, you know, is it, you know, are there more Mewtwo's, or is it just like, you know, Dratinis and Dragon? Like are there like lower tiers? He's big.
If we find out Ororo is like a part of like a faction of like the 4 tightest magics in the whole.
The door's open for that.
Yeah, because he's like, you know, I'm not gonna help you guys hunt my kind, and then he finds out that like they're like pissing off for water magic and cooking magic. It's like those traitors would, you know, who are they betraying? Like, I mean, these magics. Do they have their own society too, or like some place that they like go back to or something?
He did mention that apparently magics have a history that goes back much farther than humanity. So there's definitely lore there, perhaps like the origins of their kind.
Yeah,
that arc is gonna buzz.
Yeah. So there's the 1,000 years thing. Go ahead, Trev.
Oh no, you go ahead.
I actually figured I was gonna say go ahead.
Oh damn. So one thing I did want to point out though, in the last episode, Nox mentioned, you know, the possibility that Ichi wouldn't want to use magic; he'd prefer hunting. But we saw
think that was Weeb. think that was Weeb.
Oh,
I think Weeb like brought
Yeah,
up the
I think that was-
idea, and then
no,
I
no,
just
that
like
was me.
dovetailed on it. Yeah.
well, we got confirmation this chapter that that's not the case because he asked for the revive spell, and then immediately he pops into his uniform. He's like, "Okay, I'm gonna use magic now," and he just
But
seemed
that was
magic
because there was like a right that or a wrong that he felt like he needed to right. He's like, oh, I blew it last chapter, so let me make that up to you. So there is still room for that, but yeah, just
he
the
seemed
quickness that he was ready to do it.
like
yeah.
genuinely excited about using magic. He's like, I have this
Yeah.
new skill that I can use, and I find that
So, like,
cool.
No,
So-
you're right.
So to add on to that, I wonder if that cage he was in was actually some sort of nullification, because the second the cage came down, his magic came up, and it was like, could he have just done that while he was in the cage? Maybe he just wanted to listen and not be rude.
Good
But, like,
point. The
the
cage
second
is
that
made
cage-
of like
yeah.
Kairoseki or whatever.
Yeah, the
yeah.
second it went down, he's like, poof, magic time. What's that spell? And she's like, Humo Gwigwe, and he's like, all right, gotcha. And it's like,
Oh man, that was
Stop the
hilarious.
Jackie Chan adventure.
yeah.
Just a quick side note. Can we all agree, right here, right now, that no matter what other character we get introduced to in this series, Descaris is best girl and is an absolute queen.
Oh, of course.
Yes, and her massive talent.
Yes.
Yes.
Everything
Yes,
massive.
yes.
Yeah, we need more of them, but
Yeah, I do.
no,
There's-
this is definitely top one.
There's been a lot of fan art for her. People are really loving her.
Yeah,
But
I've been
another
loving
thing-
the
Fan art. Everyone loves her.
Yeah,
One thing,
Shinobi already been going feral over this.
Yeah,
lady, too,
I gotta
and it's
kill
like,
him.
Yeah, we
He's
might
gonna
have
die.
to boom that.
He's
kid.
gonna die
yeah.
after this. When this is done recording, I'm going to kill him. So don't worry.
Hey, let me know if you need some black up on that.
No. So one thing I forgot to mention earlier is like this is kind of an odd chapter 2 to me, because like chapter 1 was great, chapter 2 was great also. Not me saying it's odd is not in any way saying it's bad, but just the main character, the first chapter we get introduced to the world, the main character, and the forces that he will be joining and stuff like that. Chapter 2 was literally just a conversation between Ichi and Dracarys, and Uroro's throwing it there, but it's like they didn't go anywhere. They just sat here and had a conversation. I feel like in a lot of other series people would not like stuff like that, but it worked
Right.
here. They cooked. There was
That's
a lot
right.
of comedy, and we got I feel like because of this chapter we are not gonna Dracarys isn't going to be a character that we don't see. She's not going to they're not going to get back to the place and then she fucks off for 30, 40 chapters. I think she's going to be very active in the series, and I'm happy for that. I think especially after the reception and all the fan art, a lot of people are going to be wanting to see this character, and I think we're going to get it.
Yeah,
No,
Ichi's
that's a
her
really good
servant
point.
now.
Yeah, you made a really good
I
point.
mean,
I think
based off
that in any other creative team, that a second chapter like this would be relatively risky.
Yeah.
But because it's Nishizaki, like they just do this shit for real and have a really good idea on how to execute on all of these things properly, to where it doesn't feel like too dull of a second chapter for it just being a bunch of conversation or whatever. So I'm happy that they slowed it down to deliver, a second
What
chapter
adds,
like this.
what
personally.
adds to that is just energetic paneling and just character expressions. The Scars' expressions are just priceless throughout this
especially
entire
this
chapter.
especially this one where she's like they hide in patient silence or whatever, where her face is like halfway cut off by the dialogue bubble. She looks so like you know what I'm saying? Like if you just look at the drawing, it's like that's a good expression. Yeah.
So if you go to the next page, this is immediately after she's talking about these magics and giving them in detail, like basically manipulating Ichi at this point. But there's the one panel of Ichi's eye where it goes to like a slit, like the nine-tailed fox, and he shivers at the thought of these creatures he can hunt. And that small panel is so strong to display his character. That's cool.
100%.
Yeah. I can't. It was so. I felt it when I got to that panel. I'm like, oh yeah, she's awakened something in him.
Yeah, she gave him the information that's gonna have him activate like crazy.
Yeah, Roro did not like that. Like when Ichi immediately is like, he's like, don't listen to her. He's like, I'll do it. And Roro's just like all white. He's like whited out or whatever because he got his face got
like
screamed.
he doesn't know Ichi, but at that moment, Roro was like, oh no, this kid's locked in.
Yeah.
Their relationship is gonna be really fun, and I like Ichi. I'm sure this is gonna follow like throughout the entire story. Ichi's gonna be like cutting Uroro off his shoulder and stuff, and it's like, stop doing that, man. It reminds me of Lucifer the Biscuit Hammer. They had that thing where the main character he had a lizard with him, and he would
He
always
keeps trying to chuck him out the window. Like
he would toss the lizard out the window.
I gotta
and
read
then,
that.
Yeah, the lizard would just keep appearing back on his shoulder or whatever, like in his room. And he's like, "Can you stop doing that, man?" Like he just always just reappear back. He's like, "Can you please stop trying to get rid of me?"
Yeah.
And just can't unsee the Iruma like comparisons though. Like the whole time I read this, I'm like, man, this is just like Iruma. Like everything, all the facial
It's got the
expressions
vibe.
and all the comedy and stuff just reminds me of Iruma. And I just cannot wait for a meetup. Like I know there ain't no way in hell they don't do some kind of collaboration
Oh,
or
the
even
crossover
art.
is so real.
Yeah,
for
there's
sure.
got to be some crossover stuff.
It depends if
'Cause-
Shonen Champion agrees to it. Like their rival companies, if they can manage to do some sort of like crossover or
Man, they better come
promotional
get
art.
this money. Get that,
Yeah.
They got the same-
shit out of here.
because
Like,
they
we're
got the
Shonen
same
champion
leading-
and we
leading
don't do
mangaka.
like shut your ass up. Yeah.
I think that's a home run for them. Like everybody wins in that case because the room is massively popular and Ichi's going to be massively possible. What did I say? Popular.
Possibly.
Yeah, it's going to be
Or
huge.
possibly.
Yeah, opossumly. Yeah, they're going to be big. This color page is really dope though. We didn't talk about it. This
It was awesome. It's
yeah,
beautiful.
it was really cool. The colors are beautiful. Ushizaki is killing it, obviously, on the art.
Oh, if we're gonna talk about the art, we got to talk about the 3 back-to-back spreads. Because
Oh
my
God,
God.
that was beautiful.
Oh shit! I don't think I even remember
tree.
back-to-back spreads. Hold on, wait a minute.
So there's the
stuff with the
first
tree.
one where Ichi uses the magic, and then the second one showing everything growing
yeah.
back, and then the
Yeah.
final one where they go with more talking, more dialogue. But
Yeah.
no,
You
know what's
that
funny?
that
I
middle
think,
one,
Yeah.
the way they split the panels with the tree.
Oh yeah, paneling's fucking insane on that one. That let me know.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute.
was-
bro,
it
we're
was
gonna see
almost-
some stellar art.
That was
throughout this.
that was almost Witch Hattie. If they would have removed like the
Low-key.
actual borders, if they would have removed the borders on the panels and just had those pictures separated by tree branches, that would have been some Witch Hat shit.
type shit. Yeah, no, definitely.
What was I gonna say? I believe in the author comments this week. I think Ushizuki. I pronounced her name incorrectly. Usuzuki. I'm pronouncing her name wrong. Anyway,
No, I think you had
Uh,
it. Usazuki. Yeah.
It says,
okay.
it's all A's. I think. I don't think there's a U. Let me see.
Oh, Usazaki.
Yeah, let me double
Usazaki.
check.
Okay, I knew I was getting it
Oops.
wrong. Okay,
Yeah,
I believe
all
her
A's.
author comment was that
Go, man.
she really likes Princess Mononoke and My Neighbor Totoro,
Okay.
Oh, nice.
and I think it's like, okay, this explains why she puts so much emphasis on drawing that tree.
Okay.
Nice.
One thing I really hope for in the future chapters upcoming is the art that Driscoll's drew in the beginning. I hope when they get to like the Magic Society, she's like showing people the art. Like, yeah, so this is what happened because like they don't want to like listen to Ichi. They're like, okay, tell us what happened. Why does this kid have the king magic? And she's showing the other witches like the stupid like drawing she drew. They're like, bro, this is stupid. What is this? Get this out of here, kid. Just tell us what happened.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Have Discaris do some like Rukia shit.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
man,
would be
that'd
hilarious.
That'd be perfect. That'd be perfect.
Yeah, she's a fun character. Knows exactly what to say to get him riled up and ready to go. And
Nah, for real though.
he's down to hunt.
One more small detail. Yeah. So immediately after Ichi uses the magic and he's like passed out, you can see that Uroro is physically affected by it as well because he looks like just worn out, and so I think that's cool as well.
I was gonna
Wait,
bring
I
something
didn't
like this
pee.
up also.
Oh, it is you
They're
dumb
connected.
monkey.
Yeah, he's like all wiggly.
Yeah, he looks
Yeah.
like some jello.
Yeah,
Yeah.
says there's even the blub sound effect.
This actually adds like an interesting layer of consequence to each using his powers because like right now I think he can only really use them like very big bursts, and so something that he's gonna have to learn at least for the opening chapters is restraint, because otherwise, as the Scar has said, he was out for 3 whole days.
Yeah, I can
And
see that
nothing could
being like a
wake him up.
level. I can see that being a level of like aptitude or like capacity for magic too. Like as the series goes on, that 3
Yeah.
days
It's a
shorter
con-
And like
shorter.
he'll be and like Ichi will be in like his witch attire if he in a fight, but he'll just end up having to like go into big bursts at like a last resort. Maybe him just trying to rely on his own physical abilities until he has absolutely no choice but to go with the big bursts till he knows how to control it.
I think it's a big control. Were you gonna say something, Trav?
Yeah. So no, this actually goes back to what I was predicting last chapter. Magic traps aren't going to be a huge burst of magic. It's just something he lays. I feel like this kind of further reinforces that because, you know, instead of just a huge blast of magic, he just lays a trap, which, you know, you could predict would use a lot less magic.
So with that, I wonder.
Yeah, it's either that or he lays the trap for a minimal amount of mana, and then when it goes off, it consumes the greater amount.
I wonder with that though, will it be?
It all comes down to learning control because if just utilizing anything magic related, if he just automatically just goes full force right off the bat, that might be the issue. Regardless of what kind of thing he does, it could just be just full output all the time at this one moment until he gets a better handle on it.
So two things. I think control is definitely a big deal because like when he gets out the cage and he pops, you know, he does his magic thing. You can see the magic aura like flowing all the way off of him, like uncontrollable. I can't think of a character right now. I want to say like Yuji or somebody like when they're first introduced to the magic system, characters sometimes get slapped in the face and it's like, hey, get it under control, and then like they learn how to focus, and then like the energy. You know, they don't have like the Super Saiyan anymore. Like Ichi right now has the Super Saiyan energy. So I think once he gets it refined, it won't, you know, be like this big aura. But also as far as traps go, I wonder if this is going to be a universe where the characters who were very skilled with magic are not physically prepared for things at all. So like if the witches and the magics are all good, you know, at magic, can they not do push-ups or anything? So like if Ichi, if Ichi does like an illusion magic and there's a pitfall, so you think you're walking through a door and the door isn't real and you fall into like a pitfall and there's like spikes, like will that like straight destroy some people, or will they be like, I'm a witch, I got magic, I can fly? Like I wonder how, you know, the traps, the physical traps mixed with illusions and magic and stuff, like, you know, can he, you know, make a dragon out of magic and scare someone into running into like an Iron Maiden or something, you know, like stuff like that.
That's a good question too, because it's like if all the mages have like Borg or, you know, whatever the Ichi the Witch equivalent of that defensive spell in Magi is, like, how does that, you know, compare to knife attack? Like, can I stab you in the heart like through your Borg, or like,
ladies and gentlemen of the Witch Society, I present to you the leading edge in science, the knife.
The knife, no, exactly. It's like, because they probably don't like, you know, they probably don't see like physical attacks like very often in their combat. You know what I mean? It's probably just like energy attack and then energy defense, and you know which one wins or whatever. But like, if I throw a fucking rock at your goof ass while you got your barrier up, like, am I thocking you in your temple, or is it just bouncing off your Borg?
Yeah, like is the barrier blocking, you know, fire spells, but a brick would hit somebody right in their face. And like, I wonder, like, is Ichi, you know, like, will Ichi just like, maybe he'll adopt this, you know, because he's got the whole death for death and only killing stuff that has like murderous intent. But like, maybe he will only actually kill with his knife, but he'll trap with his magic. Like, what if, you know, he stretches someone out and, you know, they can't move because he's got these magic binds on them, you know, tying them to a tree, but then he slits their throat with a knife. I think that'd be dope.
Yeah. I need that. Give me all of that shit.
Especially if it's somebody who's like, you know, you idiot, you know, magic can't harm me. Didn't they tell you, you know, they sent you out here to hunt me. Didn't they tell you what my ability was? I can't be actually harmed by magic. Sure, you can hold me to this tree all you want. He's like, he flips the knife out. He's like, that's why I wasn't planning to kill you with magic.
Right. Like, don't you know who I am? I'm the Juggernaut.
Knifey McStab pants.
Stabby.
Yeah. So I'm really interested to see, you know, because I'm guessing chapter 3 they're gonna show, you know, this magic world and what the Magic Academy and stuff is looking like. So I can't wait to see, and you know, where the main character goes on this adventure, because, you know, it's one thing to say like there's a million magics out there, but like what's what's the antagonist going to look like, and will there be like brim hats? Will there be an opposing witch faction?
Yeah,
who,
wizards.
Yeah,
a secret faction of dudes that like have been like laying low, waiting to revolt against like the female-dominated society.
And they're all incels.
Wait, are you telling me there might
women.
be someone with a similar power set to the main character that could be present throughout the entirety of the series?
They're
That
all
sounds
themselves is fucking killing me.
It's a league of dudes, but they're all ran by one girl, and they're all like her servant. There's like one evil chick, and she's passed a bunch of bad. Yeah, the Simp Squad.
Or here's another possibility. There's a second man that can use magic, but he has an army of women that is also his harem.
Bruh.
Oh God, you had to take it there, didn't you?
Had to do it.
I had to piss someone off.
Fuck you. No, I'm kidding.
I think it'd be.
But in all seriousness, it would be interesting if you had like a somewhat rival character, like another male character that could also use magic in a similar manner to him.
Yeah,
and could be a foil to him.
I think his rivals are just going to be headstrong fucking women. Like. And I don't know like what their thing is going to be, because it's like how do you rival King Magic or whatever,
Queen Magic?
Amplification. Maybe a weakening magic. Something like assassin.
I can see that.
Or nullification.
Yeah. Just Leech from X-Men.
Yeah, take your magic away, and it's like, what you gonna do now? And that's when he whips out the handy dandy, throw some bowlers at him, and catch him with a knife.
What happens if you introduce a villain
the book
who's
in the trash if that? Oh no, they give us Asta, bro. We might have to put this boy down.
I like that idea.
That uses every magic.
I think he'll add like some stealth and elements to it other than Asta, because Asta's like, I got a big sword, I'm running up and I'm hitting you with it, big flat baseball bat. But this kid is he's a hunter. Asta's not hiding in the bush. Asta's running at you with a building in his hand.
Low key, yeah. Maybe they give us another hunter and he's like an archer or something, because like Ichi's fighting style seems to be like very close quarters, like catch you slipping, sleight of hand, stab you in the neck. Whereas if his opponent, if his hunter foil rival type character's got like a bow and arrow or some shit, then that can get really interesting.
Yeah.
Very true. But overall, this was a really good chapter. Like the world building, establishing the rules so far. Ichi the Scarus' dynamic is priceless.
Oh yeah,
Ichi and Aurora's dynamic is phenomenal.
I need more of it.
Yeah.
Look, if in future, if we do get when we get the volumes, I would just love for them to just do like a bonus, like similar to how like we get with how I got with like Four Nights of the Apocalypse, where just like bonus like little bonus chapters of just the characters just doing random shit in between arcs and just being silly goofballs.
We're definitely getting that.
Yeah.
And
I want that so badly.
Another thing we got confirmed is, I mean, not hard confirmed, because like multiple, witches can do multiple spells. We see that, but like at least like Abyss isn't like, based on so far, it doesn't look like Abyss is a type of magic. She's probably just, her bag is just infinite. She did a bunch of magic spells, and it seems like witches have a lot of spells. Abyss magic might be a thing, but I think it's just to say that she's got the biggest bag of spells, and so she'll probably be tossing out hundreds of thousands of magics or whatever.
Nah,
it
let
could be
it
like
be
I said
Abyss.
last
I need
week,
to see
where
her
her
use
like
dark magic.
potential or magic reservoir is like literally endless, and she can just keep learning and capturing more and more magic as she lives, and with no repercussions, more so than any other witch.
Would you
trying to see that shit?
Would you say, Traffy?
Nah, I need it to be like legitimately abyssal magic. Let her use dark magic. The Dark Queen uses dark magic.
Yeah, dark. Let's get it. Love that it's that. I think somebody said this is also the first like brown skin, person of color main character in Jump, like heroine or whatever. That's pretty big too. So we got the first female duo.
Oh, yeah, true.
And then like I don't think we've ever had a person of color like main heroine or even main character in Jump. Like, has there ever been a black main character in Jump?
I don't think so. Side characters, yes, but main character, no. I don't think so. No, not that I know of.
That's pretty big. Like,
that
I knew it was some woke garbage, but
brother.
But good woke garbage.
Oh, brother. Don't feed into it. But yeah, Jascaris, love it, love her, love everything about her. Her magic is dope. The art is dope. Ichi's great. Roro's funny. They're all great. Can't wait to see the other goofballs that they meet, and I'm very much looking forward to the Ichi and Aruma crossover because I need that before I die.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm actually catching up to Iruma right now. I'm like very early in season. I'm in season 3 now, and then I'm gonna jump on the manga.
I
That
think
should
I'm on
save my
chapter
life.
like 150 still. I don't think I've read any more since my little binge, but I'll be back.
I think that's still season 2 territory.
Okay.
What
Damn,
about-
for real?
What about you,
Yeah.
Traffy? Where the hell are you in Aruma?
Yeah. Surround this nigga.
I need to know where you at, bruh. Get his legs. Don't let him go.
It's a plan to start. It's a plan to start.
So if you're watching, don't be like Brother Traffington. Read Aruma. Read Act Age. Don't be like Nox either, because Nox ain't read it in like a year. So don't be like these guys. Be like me.
Hey, I've read Act Age. I've read Act Age.
Be kind of like Weeb and be more like me. Read it, because it'll save your life. Iruma really, bro, like it didn't like save me from like depression or nothing, but like bro, Iruma is like great. That shit saved me, bro.
It's such a comfy, cozy show.
Yeah.
Saved your
But
bitch ass life.
Great artwork.
Exactly, but it wasn't like, it's not just comfy. It's not like, oh my god, it's so fluffy. Like there are like cool, like dark, secrets and conspiracies and shit in Aruma. It gets deep. It's real, but it's fucking very
Season
cozy.
2 really starts with it with the Walter Park
No
arc.
spoilers. No spoilers for the people that haven't read it yet.
Yeah, don't be spurling.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hey,
but
I'm
this
just,
shit.
I'm just spouting something random,
Yeah.
which with
Walter
no
Park
context.
went crazy though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get on the traffic.
I got you.
Don't be a worm.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah, for chapter 2, I think I said everything I had to say about Ichi the Witch chapter 2. What you guys got to say? And do you want to do number ratings again, or this is solid?
Yeah.
It was a good chapter. I love it.
Butterscotch out of 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll give it a 9.
Hey.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and say 9, also 9 or 10. It's money to me. I still have no doubts. I'm not worried at all. I'm not like, oh my god, I hope it survives. This shit ain't going nowhere, brother. We here to stay.
I mean,
Ichi.
look, it's right now at the point of us recording, it's like number 5 after chapter 2 over on Manga Plus.
Yeah.
It's up there with
Yeah.
it's up there with JJK, Boruto, One Piece, and Chainsaw Man above it.
Well, move over all of those other titles.
Yeah, bro.
Ichi the Witch season.
And with all the hype on social media right now and the fan art, I do see, especially like from what we've seen, Japanese fans really love this duo. So when that first volume drops, 100% it will sell well.
Real numbers.
I'm very confident.
Iruma always sells crazy. This is not gonna not sell crazy, bro. This is like the biggest.
I made a TikTok on the top 50 selling. I did a TikTok on top 50 manga volumes of the week, and Iruma's in the top 10 already with its latest volume that just released.
Oh yeah, this shit's gonna make $1 billion.
Yeah. It's gonna sell a bajillion fucking volumes. Yeah.
Yeah.
$1 million gazillion $4 billion.
So before we get ready to close, anybody I haven't made a video, but did Traffy or Weeb, did you guys post a video in the last like 7 days that you wanted to promote?
Plug it up.
This Saturday I ended up releasing my first review of chapter 1 of Ichi the Witch. I should have chapter 2's review out in the next day or two, on Tuesday most likely.
Okay.
And by the time this full chapter by the time this podcast comes out, I should have my latest 4 Ends the Apocalypse review out.
Okay. Make sure you plug us. Make sure you tell them to watch the pod. What about you, Traffy?
Ranger Reject 153 comes out tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Eastern
hell
time.
Ice water.
Yeah.
So y'all go and make sure you watch those. I'm gonna have some videos coming soon. I've been balls deep in World of Warcraft for the last like 2 weeks, so I haven't made a video. But I got a video recorded, and I got like 3 ready to be done with scripting. So be on the lookout at Yato Plays for some videos from me pretty soon-ish.
Yeah, baby. I don't have nothing going on. I just be on Twitter. I had a Bond Me for lunch earlier today. Celebrate me. That's about it.
List. Yato.
Oh yes. So we actually are putting together a list of manga from 3 different magazines: Weekly Shonen Jump, Weekly Shonen Magazine, and Jump Plus. The idea is to have 9 titles across all 3 of these magazines to talk about in each one of our podcasts. So we will be posting a list on the Panel Focus Twitter account on which titles we will officially be covering on the podcast on a weekly basis. So keep an eye out on our official Twitter account for when we post the list, so you guys can follow along with us with future podcast episodes and follow in the discussions.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, keep an eye on that Twitter, man. That tweet's coming in the next like 2 to 4 days. We just gotta iron out a little kink. There's like one wrinkle on that shirt, baby, but it's about the shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So,
but yeah, I think that I believe that's everything we've got for this episode of Shonen Pulse. You guys have any closing words to say before we end things off?
Not really, man. Follow me on Twitter. Final
Yeah,
Equinox. Final Equinox _ Follow me.
Yeah. Sub to me on YouTube. Follow me on Twitter. Links will be in the description as usual.
same thing. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me. Sub to me. Like my videos and give me a coffee or whatever. Sub to me on YouTube and be ready for some videos. Drop some comments, some likes. Make sure you like this video. Drop comments in the comment section. Click the share button, even if you don't share it, because it tricks YouTube into some algorithm magic. Let them know that you want people to see this video. Help us. You help us, we can get more content to you more sooner, more better. If you want
smash
more of
that like button, baby.
break it. Hit the
And
break button.
teabag that subscribe button.
Yeah, do all that.
And help share the podcast so other viewers like you can end up joining in the conversations in the future.
Type shit.
And with all that said and done, I guess that's going to be it. Have a good night, everybody.
Holla holla.
Yo, peace.
Bye.